Hey, it's Jeremy from jeremy.net. So I'm drawing some pages here, the layouts from the last few pages of issue 7 of my comic Morningstar. And as I'm looking at these, it's hard to look back at something that I had drawn quite a while ago and not simply view it just as criticisms and all the things I wish I had done differently. But the main thing I'm thinking about is just the importance of structure. I mean, composition definitely is important in the sense that even if you aren't necessarily a great draftsman, you can still create very compelling visual art and tell very compelling stories if the composition is well done. But I'm looking through this and I'm just seeing how even in these, I feel like one of the weaknesses that I'm trying in this current phase of my artistic career to level up and push is trying to make things feel structural and volumetric. I mean, I'm definitely drawing through all of these figures, or at least most of them. I don't think the face that I'm drawing on Raphael as he's falling off the horse is particularly structural. But then again, a big part of it is that my whole process, as you can just see right there, is that I draw in red just to get the storytelling down and the spacing. And now as I switch over on the back side of the vellum, it's basically me flipping my drawing and trying to correct all of the structural flaws. And now I really am drawing in very square shapes, in spheres, in cylinders, and just trying to make I'm trying to translate the energy of the storytelling into solid geometric objects, trying to really make them feel like they have a sense of structure. And again, try not to be overcritical. But when I'm looking at this, I still feel like it's something I continue to struggle with. It's funny. One of our cats, Khaleesi, just popped up at the bottom of the screen. And it's funny, in my live streams, she usually makes an appearance, maybe once an episode or once every other episode. For some reason, she finds when I'm at the drawing table, whenever I'm paying attention to something else, that's when she wants attention. But it's funny to be reminded of that, even looking back at these old time-lapse videos. But yeah, even here, going through with that horse, and I was just trying to get sort of a certain level of energy into the face with the red drawing. But then, when I'm drawing it, the flip version, I really am trying to make them feel more sculptural. Like, I've lately been looking at a lot of Michelangelo, going back and looking at not just his drawings, but looking at his sculptures. And I switched now to another page, a different page I was working on. I've got a couple of pages in this time lapse. But in looking at all of these, all I can think about is how much more I could have pushed the sculptural aspect. To a certain degree, my drawing style, to me, as I look at it, still feels very flat and 2D. And I think it's interesting to do sort of the critical self-analysis that I do when I look at my figure drawings, doing that looking at my comic book work. Because it's sort of like I draw in 2.5D. The composition and trying to go for strong silhouettes in my images. And even like the face here, as I'm drawing this, Lucifer screaming, trying to build in those volumes and those structures. And there's things that at first, the unevenness of the eyes, it's intentional. And you'll see as this drawing develops that I'm going for something that once I add the shadows there, you can see, it's an expression that I'm trying to make where he looks super angry and it's like his eyes are intentionally distorted. But it's that thing of combining the strong shapes and silhouettes with this sense of three-dimensionality that gives things a little bit more of a realistic feel. And again, even that's a challenge for me because I definitely don't think of myself as a photorealist, but volume is important whether you're doing cartoony or doing realism. I mean, there are some versions of illustrative work where it really can be flat. Like, I mean, if you're doing something like, I don't know, the Powerpuff Girls, then no, I don't suppose that volume is that important. Or say something like, I don't know, Teen Titans Go. That's a very flat, two-dimensional feeling cartoon. That is intentional. It's in the design. But it's still something that I myself struggle with because I feel like I am a too cartoony for realism, but too cartoony for realism, but too realistic for very cartoony, flat, super graphic artwork. So I have this weird illustrative style, and I'm just watching myself as I continue to draw these. And it's like, in a strange way, I definitely feel like my style is still evolving. But with anything, style, most importantly, most artists will tell you that style doesn't come from making a conscious decision so much as it does from just making a ton of work, just continuing to produce and create. So, it's nice to go back and look at these from issues and pages I drew a while back. But I'm also thinking about what I want to do in this final issue, because I'm basically starting this phase, or at least I will very shortly be starting this phase on the final issue. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos and you'd like to support this channel, go to patreon.com/Jeremy. That's patreon.com/GERIMI. For as little as $2 a month, you can get a bonus monthly live stream and tons of additional behind-the-scenes artwork and blog posts. If you'd like to read some of my comic books for free, you can go to news.jeremy.net. Or if you'd like to purchase physical copies of my comics, you can go to amazon.jeremy.net. And again, Jeremy is spelled GERIMI. That's it for now. Go be creative.